Bryce here, looking at the Wikipedia corpus. Just right off the bat, this corpus has got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool features that you can use to hone in on what you're looking for across Wikipedia articles. But before I get into that, I'm going to talk about the more important thing, how to get here. So let's say you want to start with google.com. You might just look up BYU Wikipedia Corpus. You can see that it's saved in my search there. Or if you want to go straight to the website, you can just type in corpus.byu.edu/wiki/. Now, summarizing some of the information here, you'll find that everything on Wikipedia, text-wise, is actually held in this corpus, summing a total of about 2 billion words. You can search more than just subject and articles. You can look at search for words, phrases, parts of speech, synonyms, and collocates. Collocates are words nearby or on either side of the primary search word. I know not everyone probably has extensive experience in corpus studies. I certainly don't. So if you don't know what collocates are, or don't know why they would be useful in searches across different corpora and across different articles within this corpus, then let me show you why. So a simple search here might be elections. Oh, that's not how you spell that. And somehow that still comes up. Okay, let's try this. Well, I'm glad this showed up because this is actually one of the things that I have a criticism for. If you don't have a premium account, you occasionally get this little ad asking you to become a premium member so that you don't get these little messages. So now we'll go back to search and try this again. Elections. As you see, there's almost 160,000 instances across articles in Wikipedia. If I click here or here, then we see all this. It's given to you in the alphabetical order of the articles in which they appear. So we have Alabama, Abraham Lincoln, Algeria. Well, that's cool if you want to see how many times elections is used across Wikipedia articles, but what if I want to look at something a little different? For example, what if I want to see how often the word corrupt is put next to elections? And we'll give it a span of 4 words before and 4 words after. Sure enough, now we have 41 occurrences. And look at this. Oh, that's not what we were looking for, is it? What if we click that? Oh, here we go. So apparently if I clicked this tab, it went straight back to my context for elections, and I had to click on the new little hyperlink to get to this collocate search. So here we have politics of Latvia, politics of Malta, Pol Pot, Frank Hague, all this stuff here. We have corrupt elections, elections and electoral corrupt practices. So there, that might give us some interesting information. Let's go back here, and what if I want to look up fair? .757 occurrences here, so fair apparently is used quite a bit more, at least in terms of being 4 words away from elections. And we have a list here. So back to the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is the creating a corpus or a virtual corpus. It can be done here. You select this. Something I'll show you is you have different ways of honing in on your search. If you want specifically the keyword that you're looking for, then you put it in quotation marks. If you have a little more room for variation, for example, if you are looking up something having to do with biology or want to create a corpus that has to do with biological research, then you can use this little lemma or this root word here, so biolog, so that y or biological or other endings relating to that field might be included in your search. You can use and, although it's also assumed. You can use or, and a number of other combinations of search words. So, in creating a corpus, let's say I want to create one that has to do with music, and it can be musical or musicality related, so I will put an asterisk there. But let's say I want to look at the ways that people talk about music outside of American music, and particularly with like local and smaller communities with indigenous music. Well, in that case, I don't want American in the title. I probably want local and indigenous in the words in the pages. And you can put words that are not in the pages, but I'm going to leave that blank for now. So I will submit this. Last time I had a problem with this, getting it to load, especially getting it to load fast enough for me to be able to use it within this video. And it's doing that again. So luckily I had already constructed something like this. And let's see, it shows up here after you save your list. I want to edit my corpora, or corpus. Let's see if it will let me. It will not. Let's go here, here again. There we go. Okay, so I can actually go here and it shows me all these things. I actually already took off some of this stuff. For example, music in the US was on here. I took that off. Let's say I find something else. So Brooklyn Academy of Music. For whatever reason, let's say I don't want that included. That's about 1,000. I can check that. Oh no, you check it for it to stay in. And I can check what I don't want on here. I'm not going to mess with that right now. But let's say I want to look at frequency of adjectives. It gives me a frequency across all of the articles that I chose. Musical is the number 1 at 914. Going downwards to new, other, early, popular, major, original, traditional, late. So some pretty cool things. I can look up adverbs, nouns, verbs, nouns, adjective nouns. It's pretty cool. Alright, so finally just some interesting information about this. This was created at BYU in 2015 by Mark Davies, the writer of that COCA article we just read this week. He actually has personally uploaded some informational videos from YouTube, including this overview, which taught me a lot about what I was doing here, and a number of these other ones here too. Final notes. So that ad that I talked about earlier is one thing that I didn't think was particularly great about this. I also think that the interface is relatively easy to get the grasp of, but it certainly isn't user-friendly enough to navigate confidently without some practice or looking at some of these videos, particularly with some of the more advanced search options and features. Lastly, content is something that I can't ignore entirely within this. The reliability or effectiveness of this corpus does depend on the researcher and their project. After all, some specialists are surely involved with many of the articles on Wikipedia, but they are also still open to the public and freely available to be edited quite often. This could be good in some contexts. I mean, highly maintained articles might be given more of a chance to be honed and be more accurate, but it also could cause problem if there's incorrect information, I mean alternative facts given. On the other hand, it still does allow a huge amount of searching through a big amount of data. So in the end, it's a nice tool and a pretty fun way to look at language. Yeah, thanks for watching.